Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new discussion, and we will be learning about Republic Act 11650, the Inclusive Education Act of 2022, promoting equal opportunities for learners with disabilities in the Philippines. Prepared by yours truly, Teacher April. Let's go to the next page. The title of this law is An Act Instituting a Policy of Inclusion and Services for Learners with Disabilities in Support of Inclusive Education. Authored by Senator Sherwin Orwin Gatchalian. Signed into law on March 11, 2022 with 36 sections and 36 pages. And the goal of this RA is to ensure equitable, inclusive, and quality education for learners with disabilities in line with the Constitution and international treaties like UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. So here are the salient features and sections of RA 11650. We have Section 2, Section 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 23, and lastly, Section 30. Section number 2, Declaration of Policy. The law ensures that learners with disabilities have the same right to quality and inclusive education as all other learners. No one should be excluded or discriminated against. So what is the connection to our subject, curriculum development? It calls for adaptation of teaching methods, learning materials, assessment strategies, and classroom activities to accommodate diverse learning needs, making sure that learners with disabilities are not only present in the classroom but also actively engaged and supported in reaching their full potential along with their peers. Section number 4, Definition of Terms. Basic education includes early childhood, elementary, and secondary education. Child Development Center is a facility for children below 5 years old. Child Find System, a process to identify, refer, and intervene for learners with disabilities. Learners with disabilities are individuals aged 3 to 24 years old, including infants and toddlers with long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments. Inclusive education, an educational approach where learners with or without disabilities learn together. Inclusive Learning Resource Center or ILRC, a support center in each district or municipality that provides assessment, services, and resources. Next is Inclusive Education Personnel, are the staff assigned to assist learners with disabilities in schools, and ILRCS, Individualized Education Program or IEP, a customized learning plan that specifies services, support, and goals for each learner with disability. Instructional materials for LWDs, accessible and adaptive teaching resources, example, Braille, audio, large print, and among others. Next is the learning support aids, individuals like para-teachers, interpreters who assist LWDs in educational setting. Let's go to the next page. Multidisciplinary team is a group of specialists conducting assessments and planning interventions for learners with disabilities. Next, multi-year roadmap, a strategic plan outlining phased implementation targets over several years. Next is para-teachers, trained individuals who assist teachers in delivering special and inclusive education. Next is related services, support services like speech therapy, occupational therapy, counseling, and mobility training. Next is reasonable accommodation, adjustments or modifications in curriculum, environment, or delivery that enable equal participation. Let's go to the next page. Special Needs Education Teacher is a trained teacher providing instruction tailored to learners with disabilities. Next is Support Services. General assistance services including health, transport, and counseling for our learners with disabilities. Second to the last is the universal design, designing a building and resources accessible to everyone regardless of ability. And lastly, universal design for learning or UDL is a curriculum design that provides multiple ways for learners to engage, learn, and express their understanding. Section number 5 states that all learners with disabilities are entitled to inclusive education at all levels, prohibits denial of admission based on disability, and schools must provide reasonable accommodations including assistive technologies, trained personnel, and accessible learning materials. Section number 6, Establishment of Inclusive Learning Resource Centers. DepEd, in partnership with LGUs, must set up and maintain at least one ILRC in every city and municipality. And ILRC must be physically accessible and adhere to universal design and accessibility law. Then, they provide assessment, diagnostic, and referral services through multidisciplinary team. And also, ILRC must spearhead the development, implementation, and periodic review of learners' IEPs. And it also offers support services including training, instructional materials, and alternative programs, early intervention, and transition planning. And this ILRC also must facilitate community and school-based support including auxiliary aids, referrals, counseling, and partnership with the LGUs. Now, what is the function of inclusive learning resource centers? Number 1, it must implement the Child Find system to identify, locate, and assess all children with disabilities not currently receiving educational services. Number 2, provide assessment and diagnostic services to determine the needs of the learners with disabilities. Number 3, develop, implement, and review individualized education programs through multidisciplinary team. Number 4, offers related supports like early intervention, transition assistance, and auxiliary aids and training. Number 5, run alternative educational programs like home-based, hospital-based, and community-based for learners unable to attend regular classes. And number 6, offer or establish referral system for learners to access community resources and services. Now let's go to section number 12, IEP preparation and review. Now, it requires the creation of an IEP for every learners with disabilities who needs specially designed instruction and support services. And IEP must be developed collaboratively, including special education teachers, multidisciplinary team, and also the parents. And it also mandates that there will be a periodic reviews and updates of IEP at least annually or as needed so that you can monitor the learner's progress, revise the goals and strategies and support services, ensures active participation of parents and specialists in decision making and progress assessment. Now, section number 13, the creation of Interagency Coordinating Council or IACC, co-chaired by DepEd, DOH, and DSWD with representatives from DPWH, DILG, DOF, and NCDA, and optional national agencies. They are mandated and they have the roles. First, ensure all agencies and schools are effectively implementing RA 11650, develop and update national policies on inclusive education, prepare and maintain a multi-year roadmap with work and financial plans, coordinate programs for health, transport, access, and related services, oversee annual audits of ILRC operations, collaborate with DepEd's Bureau of Learning Delivery and LGUs to set up the ILRCS, and also the meeting should convene quarterly with special sessions as needed. So why the Section 13 matters? Section 13 ensures that inclusive education is supported through high-level coordination, policy making, and resourcing. Now let's go to section number 14, the rules of Bureau of Learning Delivery and Oversight. Now, DepEd's Bureau of Learning Delivery leads implementation of inclusive education nationwide. It coordinates with the IACC, advisory committees, national agencies, and LGUs. And its core function is to develop standards, guidelines, and training for teachers and school leaders to monitor the implementation and evaluate program effectiveness, ensure consistent support services, and curriculum delivery in school. Now, why does it matter? Section 14 designates DepEd's Bureau of Learning Delivery as the central operational hub, turning policy into effective practice across all levels of the system. Now, we have Section 23, Private Sector Partnership Incentives. The law recognizes the important role of the private sectors, individuals, companies, NGOs, foundation in supporting the goals of inclusive education. It encourages collaboration between government and non-government actors to provide services and support for learners with disabilities. Donation grants or services rendered to programs that support inclusive education are entitled to tax incentives, like additional deductions from gross income, subject to limitations under the National Internal Revenue Code, and includes donations of equipment, assistive technology, learning materials, and provision of training or services. Now, for the last section, we have section number 30, the program support budget. DepEd must establish a program support budget especially for learners with disabilities within its annual appropriation to finance the essential components of inclusive education, including child find system, the inclusive learning resource centers, related services like therapy, supplemental instruction, and assistive devices and instructional materials. Ensuring sustainable funding, the PSB ensures consistent, long-term funding for infrastructure, personnel, and specialized services mandated by the Act. And those are the salient features and section of RA 11650, namely Section 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 23, and 30. So RA 11650 is more than just a law. It's a promise that every child, no matter their ability, has the right to learn, grow, and belong. It reminds us that inclusion is not just about access to education, but about creating a supportive environment where every learner is valued, understood, and given a fair chance to succeed. By working together, teachers, families, communities, and government, we can build a future where no child is left behind and every learner is empowered to reach their fullest potential. Once again, I am Teacher April, your presenter for today. Bye!